Welcome back to this channel's Godzilla Marathon. Today we'll be covering the first sequel in the first generation Godzilla films, Godzilla Raids Again. Known in Japan as Godzilla's Counterattack, it was released in 1955. Producer Tomoyuki Tanaka didn't want Godzilla to lose relevance and momentum, so he dove in to make a sequel as soon as possible. Eiji Tsuburaya came back as a special effects director, and so did screenwriter Shigeru Kayama. Ishiro Honda was too busy directing other films during this time, so the director role was given to another person, Motoyoshi Oda. This is also the first film in the franchise that started the kaiju monster brawls, a common staple of the kaiju genre and the Godzilla franchise. The film begins with a couple of fishing pilots stopping on a remote island, where they discover a new Godzilla battling another monster dubbed Anguirus, a mutated Ankylosaurus. Luckily they escape, but the government now has to formulate a plan to stop the events from the first film from repeating themselves. Dr. Yamane returns in this film to briefly recap the rampage of the first Godzilla and explain Anguirus' origin. The government deduces that Godzilla is heading towards Osaka, Japan's second biggest city. They use the Air Force to use flares to distract the monster and drive him away from the city. However, some escaped convicts for some reason set a factory on fire, which not only attracts Godzilla, but Anguirus as well. For the fight scenes, the Godzilla suit was slimmed down. During the making of the first film, the Godzilla suit wasn't just exactly made of rubber, but also from concrete and cement. Stuntman Haruo Nakajima passed out multiple times wearing the 100-pound suit, so for the fights, Toshimitsu had to design a version made from lighter material. Not to mention, Haruo Nakajima was a skilled black belt martial artist, so it helped that he had the skill during those fight scenes. Though it can't be easily told if they're actually using martial arts. Anyways, in terms of the cinematography, the film loses most of the magic that was in the first Godzilla film. The previous Godzilla film had low-angle shots that emphasized the size of the kaiju, but in here, it's all static just to capture the fight scenes. There's even an aerial shot of Godzilla from the sky that makes him look like an action figure, just from that angle. The battle between Godzilla and Anguirus goes into a full brawl. They wreck the city and its landmark, the Osaka Castle. This was the film that started the kaiju versus movies and changed the tune of the genre to have a wrestling match. While Anguirus put up a good fight, Godzilla ends up defeating him with a bite to the neck, finishing off with a blow from his atomic breath. The film ends with the Air Force launching a full-blown airstrike on Godzilla, trapping him under ice. Warner Bros. Distributed this film in the US in 1959, heavily edited and renamed Gigantus the Fire Monster. Why Gigantus? Because the guy who they hired to edit the film thought it would sell better if the monster was an original one. A dumb move with stupid logic. They even edited out Godzilla's roar and replaced it with Anguirus's. Originally, Warner Bros. Wanted to make an original film, titled The Volcano Monsters, using footage from Godzilla Raids Again. They even asked Toho to ship them the copy of the kaiju suits to film their own scenes. It was never known why this was scrapped. Compared to Godzilla King of the Monsters, the English dub here falls tongue-in-cheek, and worst of all, they gave the whole Japanese cast an annoying stereotypical Asian accent.
To you with our gratitude. I lowered my head as
You'd be more shocked to find out that a young George Takei from Star Trek fame worked on the dub. Overall, the film's an okay watch. It performed well in the box offices at the time, with a positive feedback from the audience. However, the film did not age well given how rushed it was produced. The ending literally sent Godzilla into hibernation because Toho and director Ishiro Honda would end up creating more kaiju films for the genre to grow on, such as Rodan, Varan the Unbelievable, The Mysterians, and Mothra, to name a few. Godzilla wouldn't make a comeback until 1962, in a one-to-one fight with another celebrity monster.